What's going on, Gritter family? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I am excited to have my good buddy, Mike Diggs, on the channel. He is representing Jacob Grey Firearms. If you don't know who Jacob Grey Firearms is, Mike is going to be going over how this new manufacturer is bringing on a fresh take to a modern day classic. Let's get into it.
Awesome.
Okay, so how many years has Jacob Grey been manufacturing? How long have they been around?
Jacob Grey has been around for quite some time. They've actually started building firearm custom 1911 around the 2010 timeframe. And so over the years, they've really become known for what they're doing. And you remember the early model double stack 1911, things really came to fruition. The public really got awareness of them, and then they hit the market, and they're still doing great stuff now.
Yeah, and I love that thing. Like I said, it was someone brought one in from Jacob Grey about a couple years ago, and I shot it. It was a TWC9. Had the smooth side grip panels. Now it's part of their Legacy edition. I loved it. I loved it. And at the time, I had already gotten my staccato.
You said the S word.
I did.
Oh
That's my bad. That's my bad, okay? I had to do it, okay? Love that thing. I still love my staccato, okay? But during the time, I shot it, I was thinking, dude, this thing is super smooth. And I know a lot of people say that, right? But there was just something about the recoil impulse on that one that was just really enjoyable to shoot, right? It tracked super flat, stayed on target really well, and I was just running iron sights on that thing, and I had a great time. I even dragged Mike in here to shoot it as well, and he loved it. I mean, we were kind of just in awe of it at the time, right? So what kind of new manufacturing techniques is Jacob Grey putting into their firearms to make the gun that smooth, that efficient?
It all comes from the design, right? They're designing the slop out. They're designing to make sure that they can meet those tight tolerances that everybody's talking about with the Jacob Grey pistols and their AR platforms. But I can tell you this much, that technology is there, high complex machine, and they have the pedigree in aerospace. So that's what makes them unique.
So one of the things you said the word tight tolerances, right? And so for a lot of us 2011 guys, right, or any other firearm for that matter, when you start throwing in the tight tolerances, you start to think of the two varying extremes, right? Tight tolerances means really great performance, smooth shooting firearm, right? Enjoyability of the firearm. And then on the other end, you're thinking, if I get a grain of sand in this thing, I'm kaput for a minute, right? So has Jacob Grey figured out a way to kind of meld the two together?
They have. So what you'll see, even going back, I started out as a Glock guy, right? The G word. And so Glock was synonymous for that, you know, throw it in the mud, super durable, take it out, you can still shoot it. So everybody wanted to say, hey, I want a 1911 or a double stack 1911 that can do that same type, have that same type of performance, right? Unrealistic. So what I share with individuals is, even for those who coming from the competition world, make sure that you're maintaining your firearm, right? Make sure you're lubing your firearm, and make sure you understand how it actually performs.
Yes.
So with those tight tolerances, the quality is there. They made some unique changes with the hex grip, with the new hex double stack 1911, and they've done some pretty cool things with the balancing of the firearm as well. And then the newer model has actually you can get it's a decision that you can make it to get it ported.
Okay. Okay. So I have purposely not touched. So
Mike touched the firearm.
Mike brought it in. He brought the hex in, right? And I have purposely not touched it off camera because I wanted an authentic reaction to it. So I'm gonna pick it up for the first time, right?
Yep. It's clear?
You know, already it's clear, guys, so we can see that, right? No magazine, all that kind of good stuff. And right out the gate, dude.
Feel that disconnector? Nah.
Okay.
No hang up on the disconnector.
No.
Well balanced. Yep.
Dude, that safety's pretty sweet. That is
Do you feel it digging in the side of your thumb?
No, absolutely not. Anything different you guys are doing with the trigger assembly and internals
So there's a little secret sauce with the trigger. That's actually a one-piece assembly, right? And if you want to get it adjusted, you can get it adjusted. It comes from have to go to the factory to get it adjusted, right? So you can actually order that.
Okay.
Doing your selection, if you're going to go out to the website to purchase one of the Jacob Grey or get it from your local retailer, you go in and you can make that selection, or you can send it back to the factory and get that trigger tuned to your specific weight, if I could say that.
Okay. What's crazy is when I picked this thing up, I kind of thought it was polymer.
No, it's actually aluminum.
It is actually aluminum.
Yeah.
That's really crazy. Like, for being aluminum, right, and I already know it's kind of a lighter material, but like I said, I thought it was a polymer, right? But no, this thing is aluminum.
Yep.
Okay, so one of the things, right, and this is just, once again, me spitballing stuff out there, okay? The things with aluminum frames is if I kind of twist that magazine a little bit, I got to worry about getting that thing stuck and trying to like strip it out of there and put it back in. With that fluted magwell in there, I feel like that kind of eliminated some of the problems.
It's a guide to your success for rapid reload on that magazine.
Okay.
And you know, I was I started out having the double stack 1911 from some of the other models. Chased down Jacob Grey, talked to Jay, one of their leaders in the organization. He introduced me to Todd, their president. He's local to the DFW area. Super great guys. And I can tell you this much: when I looked at the Jacob Grey, I saw what it came with. I looked at the aluminum grip module, and I was sold. Those polymer grip modules, you can get them stippled, right? You can do a lot of different things to them,
right?
But I can tell you that I've had a lot of experience where that mag release actually is blown out because of that channel, right? And if you don't get it right, if you have to do any type of disassembly, you don't have, if you don't get it right, it's going to be a couple of dollars spent at the gunsmith.
Right. So is this going to fit in my 2011 holsters that I have right now? Yes, it is going to fit. I mean, it looks slim, dude. Like slimline, perfect. What kind of magazines does it take?
So it takes your traditional double stack 1911 magazines. Those magazines that you would have, they run pretty, I would say, pretty well. Your Atlas, your Checkmate magazines. But I would tell you, if you're going to go with some of the lower quality magazines, run a couple of them, and if you have to tune them, right, there's a couple of channels that you can check out. You can tune those magazines to make sure they function well, and that's with any double stack 1911.
Will it work with the Echelon magazines? Not the Echelon.
The Prodigy mag, it will work with the Prodigy mags, but like I said, if you're going to go to one of those, if you just have a lot of the Prodigy mags around, it will work, but I would just say go ahead and tune those magazines to that specific firearm.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so moment of truth, right? Trying out this trigger.
Yep, go ahead and try it out.
Okay. Dude, you hit that wall pretty quick, man.
Okay.
Okay, a little bit.
You like that, don't you?
Okay, interesting. All right, hold on, reset. Dude. Okay.
I can't wait till you try that out on the range, Josh.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot this thing a little bit. I'm pretty excited about that. So we're gonna put that one away before my wallet comes out. All right, so that one's gonna stick around right there. Okay, talk to me a little bit about your AR.
So here's one of the things, Josh, about the AR-15 platform, right? So let me not flag you with that barrel.
Sure, thank you.
So, like I said before, I was looking for a AR-15 platform that was going to replace my fighting gun. I had a couple of custom builds, reached out to Jacob Grey, and they had this 14.5-inch pin and weld. And this thing, I can tell you, is phenomenal through the design, all of the areas where they can take out weight without affecting the functionality of the firearm to make it lightweight. It's there, right? So you can see in the lower receiver some of the unique designs, some unique carve outs. They've done it as well, and so they've added some pretty great, I would say, some accessories to the firearm. You have the MFT grip, MFT stock. And then you have the Jacob Grey all manufactured in-house handguard, upper and lower receiver, and the tight tolerances as well, right? Okay. If you go out and look at one of their videos, they'll ask you if you buy an upper and lower receiver set, they'll ask you the question, are you gonna get it Cerakoted, right? Why do you think they're asking that question?
Is it that tight?
Totally tight.
Really?
Yep. And so this is actually chambered in 223 Wild.
Okay.
It is a 1-8 twist barrel. Okay, phenomenal, extremely accurate. Okay, I think they went with the best of the best of the best when it came to that, as well as when you take a firearm out of the box, especially a AR-15. One of the things that I like to do with anyone, right, is I like to just run my hand around that upper receiver, that rail to the handguard, right, and there is no catch.
No burrs, anything
No burrs,
like
no
that,
catch,
right?
and guess what? It's perfectly aligned. So
Okay.
now when I want to go mount any type of optics on it, right? If I want to do a red dot, if I wanted to do a lightweight LPVO scope, then if I wanted to put it on the top of this, guess what? I don't have to worry about trying to get the handguard aligned because it's already there out of the box.
Yeah. Okay, all right, showing out now. What?
You got to shoot it as well.
Dude, that is... Dude, it's right there, man. Ooh, some spicy splits about to come out this thing here in just a second.
Just a second.
That is nice.
So
that is very
yep,
nice.
Cold weather, if you want to wear gloves, guess what? You got the oversized trigger guard on it as well. And then look at the way that mag well is actually flared.
Yep.
And it looks like it's more protruded, right? Because again, they're taking all of that metal out that you don't need and to keep the firearm safe and functional.
Right. And you know what? I mean, so I look at some other manufacturers and whatnot. I mean, Knights is another one of those where it kind of has the dimpling and all the other kind of stuff where they've taken out material. And a lot of the times I'm looking at that, I'm like, is that just a gimmick or is that actually like, lightening up the firearm? And I'm like, man, that's actually really light. Like I could carry this thing around, go to an 8-hour course or something like that, multiple days, and I don't feel like I would get tired.
Ounces matter over time. Yep,
absolutely.
They build up.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, we're getting ready to put these to the test here in just a little bit. But first, we want to talk to Todd, who is the president of Jacob Grey, and just kind of find out what his thought process was behind the magic. Stay tuned. All right, guys. Well, we just had my buddy Mike Big on, and now we have the pleasure of talking to Mr. Todd. Last name, Todd?
Nice.
Todd Neese. Okay, so Todd Neese is the president of Jacob Grey Firearms. We were lucky to have him stop by today as well. It's kind of impromptu. He wasn't totally prepared to be on camera, but we went ahead and dragged him on because I want to talk to the man behind it. What your thought process was with Jacob Grey, getting into it? What were you trying to achieve? What were you looking to do?
Yeah. So Jacob, the owner, he had an aerospace company for 15 years, and we did a lot of really good business in that space and grew a really good reputation. In 2020, when airplanes started crashing, COVID hit, like it was just a debacle, and we lost about $4 million in aerospace business overnight. And so Jake had to go home. He literally sold his farm, like sold everything he owned, moved into a rental, and was like, what the heck am I going to do? But he had the aerospace machine shop. What people don't know is Jacob made his first 1911 when he was 11 years old in a machine shop, and he's 54 today. So he's 40 something years in the gun space, 1911s, building them from hand and custom fitting them for 40 years as a hobby. So Jake had to really kind of figure out what he wanted to do with the future, and having the machine shop, it was like, well, gun space is going crazy. Why not go over there? We can make ARs, we can make upper lower sets, source some parts, make a brand. So that's kind of why this exists. What it's really hard to do is tear into this space with guys that are like super high tolerance at all times and go, well, you got a few thou to play with instead of one thou to play with. And they're like, well, you can't dummy it down, right? Like they're still going to come to work and be, crazy machinists. So, so that's kind of what we did. And that's kind of how all of our guns from, that day in 2020 until now has just been an evolution. A few chapters, some rough ones, but we're getting out of it. It's going to be awesome. We're on a growth trajectory that's awesome. And, we're really knocking it out of the park. 2026 is going to be a huge year for us. We got some new stuff coming. I'm going to probably relaunch the AR-15s because it's just been a little slow, and we've been really highly focused on our 2011 business. So the AR market will be coming back for us specifically. Trying to get it back onto a machine. We moved a building. We already outgrew the building, so it's just been a great, crazy, stressful. I'm a lot more gray in the last 2.5 years of my life, but it's been an awesome project and a lot of fun for sure.
I mean, well, gray's in the name, right? That's come to be expected, right? Anything you start something from the ground up. I mean, there's going to be some trials and tribulations in that, right?
Right.
So, before we get to that AR platform, just kind of your thought process, right? So like you were talking about before, you have some really crazy, high-level experienced aerospace engineers that are in there with you
yeah.
guys, right? And they are coming from a space where they have unlimited budgets to now limited budgets, and now they are trying to maintain that standard of quality.
That's right.
And then on top of that, now we're entering into a market where prices are astronomical for entry-level 2011s.
That's right.
Did you guys have a thought behind that? Were you trying to keep it kind of like at the everyman's price whenever you created them?
Yeah, I mean, we had a price point. We did a market analysis to see like where's the market and what's the hole, where's the hole. You know, we've seen Prodigies at the bottom and Infinities at the top, and we kind of seen this trajectory line of like a little bit better price, a little bit better quality, kind of working your way up. I attacked the original TWC9. I attacked the quadrant that nobody was in, and that was like, how can I over deliver on quality at a price that everybody can afford? And then now it's just kind of been gradually having to step it up, because the things that we didn't do in our first model, people are like, hey, can you do this? Can you do a pin beaver tail? Can you do a ported? Can you do a better grip safe or a more aggressive grip texture? So that's been one of the things that, you know, we are having to go up in price, because our machines are $300 an hour. And a grip texture, if I just add something on a grip texture, it's another 20 minutes, 30 minutes, half an hour. It depends. So so when you start doing that, it's like, that's $150 in cost of goods. So now where's my gun gotta go? If I gotta get it from you to a dealer to a consumer. So that's where we really have to pay attention. What we've really done, and I've got some spicy videos coming out this fall. It's a series literally starting, I don't know what day this is gonna go out, but here in September, end of September, October, we're starting a series and on our YouTube channel. That it's me just kind of showing behind the scenes. It's a full documentation of like, what do we do? You walk in the front door and I show you everything until it goes out the back into a consumer or to a dealer. So where other spaces are not super come forward and transparent about what's happening, because they don't know, and a lot of them don't machine their own stuff. So that's kind of been one big thing for us, is like, we want to be transparent. We want to show that this stuff is being made, and if it's sourced, I'll tell you what's sourced. Like the barrel we source, and some of these things we got to source. What my goal was on our AR-15 market was to show up and say, that didn't hit the target, that means you need more practice. It's not because of the build. The build is right. And if you go home and Google, what's the better charging handle, what's the better trigger, you're gonna find what I already put in here for you. So I'm trying to make it easy, but stay at that, you know, ours is $2,500, but that's a really good price for upgraded. You go home and never have to upgrade it, unless you want a purple or blue or something like that. I can't control that. But so that's really where we're at.
Yeah, what I want to hear is from muzzle to stock, kind of what features are on your AR.
Okay, so we start at the top. We went with a chemo flash hider.
Okay.
This is pinned and welded, I think. So obviously it's there, but it was just kind of like, what can we put on a gun that everybody can utilize? We kind of did another analysis of like, what's the best or what's the most common, and the chemo flash hider just seems like it's one of the more common ones. So we kind of went with that. It's obviously you can change it to whatever you want.
Right.
We go with a 1-in-8 twist barrel on this 223 Wild. I get my barrels from Tactical Kinetics.
Okay.
They're out in Knoxville. Good dudes, good industry friends of mine. They hold sub MOA tolerances, so they do all their testing. Really good dudes. They've been around a while. They make a lot of barrels for guys in this industry. You actually probably have Tactical Kinetic barrels in your safe right now. You just don't know it's there. So good quality dudes. I get near net shape hand guards, so I get them pretty close to where they're at. I cut the extra pieces so everything matches up and looks good. And then what I always get frustrated with on the AR is like, I pick up an AR, I bring it home, or I get an AR, put in my hands, and I'm like, why is, to his point, right? It doesn't match.
Yes.
And it's like, why is this one sheeny black and this one's matte black? It doesn't make any sense, because everybody's getting parts and just kind of slapping them together, right?
Stuff together.
My goal was to get these in raw, machine them where I want them to make them look right, and then be able to laser engrave Jacob Grey or get them to go out with anodizing, so everything's being consistent together, because you're spending a good amount of money for the gun. I go with a superlative gas bleed off gas block, which is adjustable gas block. Great for suppression and things like that. That you kind of got a tool that goes down in there. We start with a 4. We start on click 4. It's kind of like the middle of the road. If you need less gas, more gas, you can make your adjustments up there. Sweet. So a bleed off gas block. If it's over gassed, it actually just goes out the front. Really cool. So if your gun's over gassed, you're not getting it all back in your face. It's actually just kind of seeping out the front. Whatever's not needed. So
that's
pretty
nice.
Cool.
So bulk carrier group, we get bulk carrier groups in the raw. We get them out, sent out to DLC. You can kind of see this at DLC coated bulk carrier group. We do our own little aluminum dust cover, which is different. A lot of guys are going plastic or like the old stamped kind. I'm like, guys, you got a $2,500 rifle, like so you're spending 10 cents on a stamped one. Let's get a nice one, right? So it's got a little JG logo on there, so that's pretty cool. The buttons, the normal. We right now we're running Radian, either Radian or Armaspec, depends on which models we get and who we're working with at the time. I think this one has an has a Radian in it, but Radian 45-degree safety selector and then charging handle, same thing. So if I do the Radian or the Armaspec, it's the same. It's going to match whatever one I do is there. But those are two good guys in the industry. One thing, the B5 stock, that's just a good friend of ours. We're good friends with those guys. It was like Magpul or B5. I drink beer with the B5 guys, so why not? So it's kind of how the industry works. The one thing that really helps out this gun is our hydraulic buffer. So the hydraulic buffer from Kinshot gets dropped in there, and that's a hydraulic buffer that when you're shooting, that last little push or kick that you feel, like the pump or the smack on your shoulder, that hydraulic eats that up. And if we actually slow that down, the hydraulic and you know how fast you can shoot an AR. The hydraulic actually will use the hydraulics 3 times in one cycle. It's the craziest thing. So the very first, you get it because it's getting so much pressure, it collapses. As it comes back, it reopens and then collapses again, and then when it comes forward, it does again. In one cycle, you're getting 3 sets of hydraulic collapse. So it's pretty cool. It's what softens it up, and then the thing that really does it is that trigger, right? That trigger, I sell that trigger on retail for like $189 or $199, and there's guys out there with like $250, $279 triggers that you don't feel that, and it's a drop-in trigger, 3.5 pounds, crisp, no take up, like it's right.
Incredible. That I'm telling you guys, that trigger's sick. Your splits will be spicy, guaranteed. That thing is awesome, and I can't wait to feel the recoil impulse on that thing too. Well, Todd, anything else you would like to say about Jacob Grey that maybe not a lot of people know? What kind of considerations? You've already talked about a lot of them, but are there anything behind the scenes that not a whole lot of people know about as far as what you are putting into either your firearms or the company itself?
Man, we're South Carolina. I live here in Fort Worth, Texas. I've started the company helped Jake with the company for a couple of years from over here, and I travel there all the time. But like, when I go back, we're in the country of South Carolina, out in the country a little bit. We have a machine shop, 17 employees. So like, we have one of the big things I stress at home is, I say home, I'm home, but my other home. When I stress at my other home is family. We're faith guys, and then customer service. And one of the things you'll see on all the online channels, like, I preach customer service number one. Even if it costs me a little extra, I got to make sure that we are taking care of our family. Once you buy something from us, I consider you family, and we really want to make sure that people are taken care of. And I brought guns back once, twice, 3 times, and it's like, okay, to the point where it's almost too much. But then I look at it, I'm like, never too much. Create the campfire story. I want that guy talking so good about us, and you can see it when you go out and do some research on Jacob Grey. You'll see that that's what we are. It's our culture. So that's one thing, and trying to feed 17 families, man. So it's not like we're a big, huge corporate company that has somebody backing us that don't ever know what the operations are. Jake and I work hand in hand daily, and our goal is to just build a good brand, build good parts. To give you some perspective on what we did in the past, I was telling a guy yesterday, the last Boeing job that we did about a year ago, before we really started cranking up production manufacturing, we got delivered 5 parts. And whenever I say 5 parts, like, these are pieces of titanium that Boeing either tried or Lockheed tried and their machinists couldn't do it. And then they get down to like the last couple pieces of chunks of stuff, and they're like, guys, we need you to do it. So like, we've walked in, we've got like a guy standing upside down holding a broom handle, and the other guy like on a ladder, making sure so we don't get vibration, right? Because that's what happens. So we took the last part that we did. It was 90-pound piece of titanium. It was a square block of titanium, and this thing was like a 1.5 foot wide, probably 2-3 foot wide. are tall and like this thick is a chunk. Like I literally had struggled to get this thing to hold it for my guy to lock it into place.
Yeah.
It walked out of our machine shop at 7 pounds.
Wow.
So there's 83 pounds of just chips gone.
Yeah.
But we had this tray that was like this big, datums from top to bottom, and it's like that's like, so we bring all that kind of like crazy stuff to, you know, something that has a hallway worth of tolerance.
Right.
So let's just make it better,
Yeah.
make it tighter. So that's really it, man. We're just trying to create a good brand, make sure people are taken care of. You know, we'll admit when we're wrong, and I've done that on some of the stuff over the course of the couple years of like, man, we just kind of jacked that up. So bear with us. We're human beings. So just trying to be who we are, and that's kind of how we live our life. Yeah.
So Todd, where can they find you guys on your socials? I'm really excited for that YouTube series you're about to bring up. I'm really excited about that one. How can they find you guys?
Okay, so we have Facebook. Our Facebook, you just got to search Jacob Grey Firearms.
Okay.
We get shadow banned like everybody else, so you almost got to type exactly what it is. Our Instagram company page is Jacob Grey Firearms with an underscore.
Okay.
I mean, you can get clear to the S, it's still not going to show you, so you got to hit the underscore, and then it'd be like pop up. So that's it. And then we are building a YouTube channel. Some of the stuff that we're doing, we're looking at launching a podcast. Just talk about whatever.
Yeah.
Me and Jake behind the camera and on a podcast a couple times a month, just whenever I get out there doing some stuff. So just trying to get people to, you know, we'll talk about anything. You know, if somebody throws a topic, sounds good. It's like, we don't want it to be specific to like drive Jacob Grey into people's brains. Like, we just want people to know who we are and humanize our company.
Yes, absolutely. Well, guys, we really appreciate you watching. If you have any questions for Todd or for Mike Diggs, make sure you leave a comment below. Make sure you are commenting, and subscribing if you have any questions. Once again, we're getting ready to shoot these bad boys. I am super excited about that. Todd, we've had a good time with you. Mike Diggs, appreciate you as always. And guys, we will catch you on the next one.